May 10th, 1972, the skies over Hanoi. "Duke, we're hit! We're hit!" In the back seat of their F-4 Phantom, Lieutenant Willie Driscoll is screaming the words. A surface-to-air missile has just torn into their fighter. Fuel is streaming behind them like a ghostly contrail. The controls are sluggish. They're losing hydraulics. And at that moment, they have a choice that will define their lives. Eject over the most heavily defended territory in North Vietnam, or turn their crippled warplane back into the most legendary dogfight of the Vietnam War. Welcome to Top Tier TV. We often think of aces from World War II, pilots with dozens of kills. But in the complex missile-age warfare of Vietnam, becoming an ace, downing 5 enemy aircraft, was an almost mythical achievement. That is, until May 10th, 1972, a day that would become known as the Battle of Hanoi. This is the story of two men, Lieutenant Randy Duke Cunningham, the pilot, and Lieutenant Willie Driscoll, his radar intercept officer, or RIO. They were the crew of an F-4J Phantom, call sign Showtime 100. And on this single mission, they would fly into a legend, engaging in a chaotic, close-range brawl against a swarm of North Vietnamese MiGs, and in the process, become the first American aces of the war. To understand what Cunningham and Driscoll were up against, you need to understand the F-4 Phantom. It was a beast, a twin-engine, long-range interceptor built for speed and power, not for turning. It was designed to knock down bombers with radar-guided missiles from miles away. Its greatest weakness? A close-in, turning dogfight, a knife fight in a phone booth, as pilots called it. And their opponent? The North Vietnamese Air Force, flying the nimble, agile MiG-17 and MiG-21. These were smaller, lighter fighters, built to turn tightly and get in close. The Vietnamese pilots were well-trained, disciplined, and they knew their home skies intimately. They didn't try to outrun the Phantom. They tried to get inside its turning circle, where their cannons could tear it apart. On May 10th, Showtime 100 was part of a massive strike force targeting the Paul Doumer Bridge near Hanoi. The air was a swirling mess of American bombers, escort fighters, and a gauntlet of SAMs and anti-aircraft fire. It was in this chaos that Cunningham and Driscoll spotted their chance. A flight of MiG-17s was closing in. They turned to engage. The fight was on. The two formations screamed towards each other. This moment is called the merge, when opposing aircraft pass each other and the fight turns into a three-dimensional chess match of energy, altitude, and angles. Cunningham, ignoring the textbook, pushed his powerful Phantom into the fight. The first MiG came at them head-on. Cannon fire streaked past their cannon. At the last second, Cunningham pulled up, rolled, and came down behind the enemy fighter. Driscoll, in the back seat, got a tone. The growl of the AIM-9 Sidewinder missile locking onto the MiG's heat signature filled their cockpits. "Fox 2! Fox 2!" Cunningham yelled, firing the Sidewinder. The missile streaked forward and impacted the MiG's tail. The enemy plane spun out of control, one down, but they had no time to celebrate. A second MiG-17 was already on their tail, its cannons blazing. Cunningham threw the Phantom into a hard, gut-wrenching turn, pulling G's that pushed them down into their seats, their vision tunnel. He managed to shake the MiG and reverse the situation, getting behind it. Another tone, another Sidewinder. Fox 2, a second fireball lit up the sky. With those two kills, Cunningham and Driscoll had 4 confirmed victories. They were 1 kill away from the coveted title of ace, but their Phantom was battered, and the fight was far from over. As they tried to disengage, a new threat emerged. This wasn't another novice. This was a silver MiG-17, flown with a skill and aggression they hadn't seen before. For years after, this pilot would be rumored to be the legendary North Vietnamese ace, Colonel Toom. He was a predator, and he knew their Phantom was wounded. The silver MiG latched onto their tail. Cunningham threw his jet into every evasive maneuver he knew, but the nimble MiG stuck with them, its cannon shells getting closer. They were running out of options, out of sky, and out of time. In a moment of sheer unorthodox inspiration, Cunningham made a decision that defied all conventional wisdom. He firewalled the throttles. With the massive power of the Phantom's twin J-79 engines, he pointed the nose straight up, rocketing into a near-vertical climb. The MiG, lighter but less powerful, followed. They were climbing into the sun, the G-forces immense. Their speed bled off rapidly. The Phantom, heavy and damaged, began to shudder. It was approaching a stall, the point where it no longer has enough airspeed to fly. And then it happened. The Phantom stalled, seeming to hang motionless for a split second at the apex of its climb. The lighter MiG, unable to stop its momentum, overshot. It slid directly in front of the now stalled Phantom. It was a perfect, fleeting shot. Cunningham didn't need to be told twice. As his Phantom fell backwards, he squeezed the trigger. A Sidewinder leaped from the rail, corkscrewing the short distance into the silver MiG. The explosion was direct and devastating. Colonel Toom was gone. They had done it. 3 kills in a single engagement, 5 in total. They were aces. But the drama wasn't over. The SAM hit from the beginning of the mission had taken its toll. Hydraulic fluid was gone, and the controls were failing. They were losing altitude fast. over enemy territory. With no other choice, Cunningham and Driscoll pointed their crippled Phantom towards the Gulf of Tonkin and ejected just seconds before it crashed into the water. They were picked up by a rescue helicopter, alive, and now legends. Their victory on May 10, 1972 was a massive morale boost for the U.S. Navy. It proved that American pilots and aircraft could triumph in the most demanding air combat environment. But more than that, the story of Showtime 100 is a testament to human ingenuity and courage under fire. It was a victory won not just by technology, but by a pilot's willingness to break the rules, and a RIO's unwavering coolness when everything was falling apart. The story of Cunningham and Driscoll forces us to ask, was their victory a product of superior training, superior machinery, or simply the unpredictable chaos of a dogfight where one brilliant, desperate move made all the difference? What's your take? Could a maneuver like Cunningham's upward vertical reversal work in modern air combat, or was it a unique product of the Vietnam era? We want to hear from our aviation experts and history buffs in the comments below. If you believe that the stories of courage and skill from the skies deserve to be remembered, then help us out. Hit that like button and subscribe to Top Tier TV. We've got more incredible stories of aerial combat and military history on the way. Tap the bell so you don't miss them. Thank you for watching. Until next time.